Hey, we're live, everybody. Welcome back to the No Cover TV podcast. Look who's next to me. Patti Spadaro, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good, good. How are you doing?
Doing great. We're going to have a great show today. But first, before we talk to Patty, I want to just talk to you on podcast land. First, thank you to each and every one of you checking out the No Cover TV podcast. Past shows, future shows, and don't forget to miss today's show. Great shows. We get the interview out to you, and I expect you to check out the music, which you're doing. We're all over the world. We're in 36 countries, and we're growing. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart very much. Been doing this since 97, from TV to radio, now podcast. You can't get rid of me. I'm a little hard to lose. Yes. Also, you know what I'm going to say next. My three favorite words. You better use them. Support, support, support. Support these artists. Go to their shows. Pay a cover charge if there is one. Get to the swag table. Get a CD, an album, a t-shirt, a hoodie, a keychain, a bumper sticker. It goes on and on. Then get to that stage. Have a good time. Enjoy the show. Then after the show, introduce yourself to the artist. Possibly get an autograph because you just never know where these artists are going. And remember, these artists are doing what they love. And they love to put that smile on your face. In return, when they see your smile, it's put a big smile on the artist's face. It does. It really does. Also, down below, I want to say thank you. I'm going to click on the button up here, the logo, to our sponsor, 616 Kebab Stop out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, Mediterranean restaurant that wanted to jump aboard. So if you like Mediterranean food, check them out from the Grand Rapids, Michigan area. So check out 616 Kebab Stop. And it's scrolling right below here. You can read the ticker tape throughout the show if you would like. So let's get to today's show. Patti Spadaro's in the house. Oh boy, we're gonna have a great show with you today. Well, you're a busy girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to say the least. My goodness, boy. She's got a heck of a history, and I want to hear it all, and then we're going to get to the future. So let's do it. Let's go back in the time capsule. Okay. Now, you started very young, around the same age I started. You started around 10, 11 years old, didn't you?
Yes, I picked up the guitar when I was around 10, maybe started playing around with it. Around 11, I started taking some guitar lessons from a friend of my mother's. But music's been with me since birth, really. My dad's a musician,
Oh, wow.
was a musician, flute
Okay.
player, teacher, performer. My mom was always playing her John Denver records
Oh,
in the
yeah.
living
That's
room.
great.
My older brothers were blaring their Led Zeppelin up in their bedroom. So music, I was surrounded by music
You're
since birth.
surrounded by music. Now,
Yeah.
through all the different eclectic sounds that your family was listening to, did you have a favorite sound of your own or that you listened to, music wise?
Yeah, back in those days, I think I used to like the classic rock, the Led Zeppelin and Yes, and got started getting
Ah,
into the Grateful Dead. Ended up going to see them a bunch back with Jerry, which was very exciting and fun.
great
And
times. Great
yeah,
times. Those are great memories you'll never forget.
yeah.
No, that is great. So you picked up the guitar at 11. How long did it take you to more or less master it?
Still
Still
working on
learning.
that.
You're
It
still
takes
learning, right?
forever.
I
Um,
shouldn't even ask that because I'm still learning.
but took guitar lessons in high school, started playing around with some friends, played in the church group for a little while, played some people's weddings and things. And then went off to college and took some music theory classes and
I
stuff.
see that.
And eventually went out to Musicians Institute in Hollywood, which is where I really sunk my teeth in, really got serious about it. Just got to learn from some amazing, wonderful players, and got to meet and play with all kinds of people from all over the world, which was really wonderful. And just some of the like studio musicians in LA were teaching classes and doing workshops. And Scott
Oh,
Henderson from Chick Corea's band, he
oh,
was playing every week, and we got to just go sit in with him and play with him, and just learn so much
amazing.
from
Well, it
those
sounds like in
students.
high school you knew exactly what you wanted to do in life, and that was play music.
Well, my parents, since my dad was a musician, he knew that it can kind of be a tough road to actually make a living. So
Yeah.
they were kind of pushing me in the direction of like math and science. And I actually went to college and majored in physics at college in Philadelphia, Drexel University. But every time I had a chance for a free elective or something, I would sneak a music class in.
That's great. So,
And it was always in my heart. So when I graduated, I worked for a year saving up my money and decided like I got to do it. I got to give it a shot. I can always go back, but I
right.
never I never went back. I
No,
just got
just
out to
straight forward.
LA and that was it.
That's all it wrote. Oh boy, I was able to grab away. I was lived in LA for a while, and I actually escaped. I had to get out of there.
Yeah, yeah. I was
So,
there for
but
10 years and then escaped as well.
oh
So,
yes, it can grab you for a while. Or so back in the day, was your first? I don't want to say real band, but the first band you got with was that the Zookeepers?
I was in a band before that called the Mistrals, which was an all-woman band,
Oh, okay,
and we put out a CD and we did some touring like Southwest area, uh, Southern California, and onto the whole southern, southwestern, I guess, United States.
right.
Um, and yeah, after a while, that kind of fizzled out. I was with them about a year or so,
Okay,
and that's when I discovered the Zookeepers and took one of the gals from the Mistrals, and we joined up with the Zookeepers and put out two CDs with them and did a bunch of touring with them.
beautiful, beautiful. And that was an LA band.
Yes.
That was an
Yep.
LA band. Now
Yep.
you got to sit in, or I would say, play or open up for some great musicians and players out there. Wasn't Mr. Van Halen one of them?
Yes, Eddie Van Halen and Steve Lukather,
Oh yeah.
who I think he played with Toto and maybe Michael Jackson and did a bunch of studio stuff. They scheduled like a little Eddie and Friends show at a nice club in LA, and my band opened up for them. So that was really exciting
Oh
and
man, I
so
bet.
fun. We got to hang out with them backstage and talk
That's
and
just
got to be
wild.
right up front, right at the front of the stage when they were playing. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing. Because they're in their
Eddie, just amazing. Yeah.
he's one of the legends, definitely one of the legends out there. So how long did we stick it out with the Zookeepers?
I was with them about 3.5 years, 3 or 4 years.
Okay, three.
Um, yeah.
Okay, all right. So after the Zookeepers, what happened? You left LA.
Yeah, I was there a couple more years, played with some other people here and there, and then decided to move back to my home state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, all
Like you
right.
said, escape. The traffic
Exactly.
is crazy out there. We were missing nature. We were missing family. We wanted to start our own family. My husband, heck, I met him at college at
Oh, wow.
Drexel, so he's an East Coaster as well. So yeah, we decided to make the move, settle
Okay.
down, buy a house, have two daughters.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but the music never left you. When did the Patti Spadaro band start? When did you put this together?
um well, I put a CD out, like an EP out, kind of right in that transition, recorded some of it in LA, kind of released it in Pennsylvania. But that was right around the time I was having two daughters, one, and then 2 years later the second one. So it didn't do too much with that. Took a little time off, and then I recorded my "Bringing Me Back" album. I got Rusted Root drummer Jim Donovan involved with that, and Skip Sanders from the Clarks,
Okay.
and a few other people together. And yeah, we recorded that, put that out.
Okay. Okay. Now, I mean, you're a rock and blues player. I mean, you are amazing. I mean, you tear that guitar up, it's on fire.
Thank you.
And I love it. I mean, is there any blues players out there that you were listening to possibly in the day or still do that you love?
Mhm. Sure, yeah, I love the blues. I think Stevie Ray Vaughan was a big influence on me.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the Allman Brothers and Tedeschi Trucks, that kind of blues rock,
Oh,
lots
man.
of guitar.
Yeah. I mean, you're tearing it up with that lead. Now, where did that style come from? Was that back when you were in the Musicians Institute, or is that what you fell into all along?
Yeah, I think that's always been, back in high school, I would just sit and listen to a bunch of different stuff and just play along. And I loved the improvisation of the blues. Like you can just go, you don't have to learn somebody else's solo and play it no for like they played it. You get to
Right.
like create your own thing. So that's what I really love about the blues and then jam band music as well.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah, and then when I went to Musicians Institute, we got into some jazz and jazz fusion added on
Okay.
top of that. But yeah, I love to improvise and just make it up as I go along, kind of get into the zone, just
That's great.
letting
Just
go of
let it
thoughts
rip.
and being in the moment is really a lot of fun.
That is
So
fun. And you mentioned jam band. Now, we all know jam band songs can last for 2 hours. What's your longest jam band song? What do you think it is?
usually the songs that I record are not like big extended jams. It would be fun to do like a live album and go off and jam for a while.
Right.
But I do like to do that more at live shows, get into
Yeah,
some.
that's
Usually I'm
cool.
not looking at my watch. I don't know how long it goes, but
Right, right. Got time limits here. So, oh my goodness. Now, how many albums do we have out? Is it 5 total?
um let's see. We have two Patti Spadaro band albums. Yeah, and then two with the Zookeepers, one with the Mistrals. I played with other people on their albums, a few
Okay,
songs here or there. And then I just released a new single, uh, Glass Shatters, which is just a single, not part of an album yet. Maybe it will
right.
be eventually. I am working on some other songs, some new stuff
Great.
that one of them is getting close to being finished and working on some
Okay.
others too. So,
All right. Well, how many people are in the band besides you?
usually I like to play with, definitely drummer and a bass player. Another singer is a lot of fun and keyboards. So 4 people plus myself. Sometimes I like to play with another guitarist. That can be a lot of fun. So I
Yeah.
like to mix it up.
Okay, so do you have a full-time band that you use, or do you just grab people when you can? How's that? How you working that?
Well, before the pandemic, I had like a steady band, and I'm still playing with the same drummer. But things got kind of scattered, and I got more into teaching for a little while. And then with the new single, I am using the same drummer, um, or Rock, who's I've been playing with a lot. And one of the bass players I was playing with moved, I think. Another one kind of got real busy in another project. So, you know, sometimes you gotta kind of take who's
Right.
available. And
Exactly.
the singers, Glass Shatters features a few other singers where we're all harmonizing together and
Okay.
stuff. And a couple of those singers I've been playing with different projects here and there off and on for a long time. Like we have a little side project called Women on Top that we just get together and play once or twice a year
I
because
like that.
everybody has their own bands and things. But yeah, I got some of those ladies to join me on Glass
Nice.
Shatters and sing a lot of harmonies. So there's a lot of voices in that one, and that was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, let me talk about that. I usually don't jump to songs too quick, but Glass Shatters, I took a listen to, and I love that. And the collaboration you had with the ladies harmonizing on the vocals and stuff. That was just beautiful. I love how that
Yeah.
all just came together. Definitely. Now, what studio did you use, and who's your producer?
Uh, Blue Door Recorders is the
Your-
studio,
All
and
right.
actually myself and my drummer Eric Rock produced the song, and Eric is a really great recording engineer as well
Oh,
as being a great drummer. So
cool.
he did the engineering on that, and
Well, that's pretty good that you keep that kind of in house and not have to spend a whole lot of money because it does cost a
right,
fortune. Oh
it
boy,
does.
it does.
Yeah.
Now, with your sound, and you're in the studio, this is my favorite thing to ask. Do they have any analog equipment you could use?
He has a lot of digital stuff. He uses Logic recording software with the Apple
Right.
computers and things.
Oh yeah.
And then he's got all sorts of plugins, and he could tell you all about that. So I'm not real
We
technical,
won't go down that road.
but I do like to. We did use my amp. I like to mic up my Fender Blues Junior amp and get some good tones with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful amp. And I mean, let's before we go further, tell everybody out there in podcast land where they can find your music, everything about you, and where you're playing.
Um, my music's on Apple Music and Spotify and all those type of places. I have a website that's pattispadaro.com, Patti Spadaro dot
There we
com.
go.
People always spell it wrong. Um, and YouTube, we've got a video for the new single Glass Shatters. The video was really fun to do. We did that dancing around Pittsburgh. You can see some iconic spots in Pittsburgh in the video, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes, that's
And
great.
the Cheryl Ann Hawk, who sang, was one of the singers on the song, is in the
Yep.
video. She and I are kind of dancing around. Got some friends to join in with us. And there's some shots from the studio with Eric on the drums.
Okay,
So that's really fun. You can find that on YouTube.
great.
And yeah, Sherlyn and I are playing at Spoonwood Brewing September 26th, I believe, here in
Okay,
Pittsburgh.
nice, nice. Now, do you do many acoustic shows, or is it mostly the band?
I do some of each. Sometimes it's easier just to grab a partner and the two of us just go out and play. But I do love the band shows. That's the most fun, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Gives you that space to, like I said, to improvise, to jam a little bit.
yeah.
More sounds, more voices in the mix with the bass and the drums and the
Oh, yeah.
keyboards and everybody contributing. So that's a lot of fun.
Exactly. Now, are you playing out a lot right now?
I'm not playing out too much. Seems like everybody's scattered and everybody's busy with different projects.
Okay,
So I do kind of want to, focus in and get a couple people who are really willing to like, hey, let's do this. Let's
right.
make this a priority that we schedule,
Okay,
a few gigs together every month and make
okay,
that work, make that
okay.
happen.
Is anything coming up down the summer's fall? Anything?
As I said, just the gig with
Just
Cheryl
the
Ann
one?
Hawk on the 26th. I think I'm going to play the Bill Tom's a friend here in Pittsburgh. He puts on a big pre-Thanksgiving benefit show. He asked me if I'd play with him for that, and I said yes. So that's not till November. Um, I do a few
Busiest night.
yoga studio things here and there. I like to
Okay.
play, get diverse and play some yoga type music as well. I'm a yoga teacher at a
Yeah.
college, so I like to that kind of stuff as well.
That's pretty cool. I wanted to touch on it. Now, yoga, my wife tried to teach me that, and I thought I was going to die. I couldn't do
Well,
it.
there's all kind of different levels. You can start off just simply some simple stretches and just move the body a little bit, loosen up, stretch out
Right.
a little bit.
I can do the cat dog, but that's about it. Now, you're into meditation. You do that.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And was it mindful music and stuff like that?
Yeah, I teach a college course called Mindfulness in Music, and it's really just about being present, like getting out of your head. So many thoughts and so much stress. College
Yeah.
students now have just a lot of stress. You're studying all day and going to classes, and then you pick up your phone and you read about the bad news, and it's just all hitting you.
Yeah.
So it's great that they have the opportunity to take a yoga class or a meditation class or this class called Mindfulness in Music,
That's great.
where you just get out of your head, get out of the stressful routine, and just do something healthy for your body and mind.
There you go.
And I like to bring the music into it a little bit,
Right.
either relax with some music or use music to focus on, kind of
Right,
clear the
definitely.
mental.
Well,
Yeah.
music is, I would say, a healer for all. I mean, back in our day, we didn't have these contraptions, cell phones, and all that, and social media stuff. We
Yeah.
listened to the radio or played our albums. That was our escape.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and if we didn't have that, I think we all would have lost it because of, back then it was a little tougher. It really is. It really is.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
I want to ask you, when you do play out, I know you've done bigger shows, you do smaller shows. What do you like better, the smaller ones where the people are on top of you, or you like kind of the bigger shows where they're a little out there and you got a bigger stage?
Well, it's a lot of fun to play on those big stages, especially with a nice, group of musicians joining in, a great band. That can be really fun, especially if there's an audience that's just loving the music, and we kind of feed on their energy, they feed on our energy, and it's just
Yes,
a positive kind of experience. I really enjoy that. And the intimate shows are fun too, where we can just kind of pare it down, maybe talk with the audience a little more,
it's cool.
listen to the nuances of the music.
Yeah, that's really cool because I love your music. Like I said, it's rock and blues. I mean, it's amazing stuff. Your lead is terrific, and it does implement, and I love it. It doesn't sound like it, but Stevie Ray Vaughan comes to my mind when I hear you. Definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
it's
thanks.
great. Oh, it's great stuff. So I'm going to move on to some fun questions here. So I'm going to
Fun
throw some
question.
things at you here. Okay,
Okay.
unexpected. Ah, yes, you're on the spot now. Which one do I hit you with first? All right, we'll do an easy one here. All right, we're going to go around the world. In your head, you're going around the world. What
Okay.
two stages would you love to perform on?
I think I would love to perform on Red Rocks in
Yeah.
Colorado. That
Oh,
would be really
yes.
cool.
That would be cool.
I've never performed like in Europe. I don't know the stages there, but something there would be pretty
Oh,
awesome,
yeah.
I think. Maybe a
That
little
would be great.
European tour. That would
That
be
that would be, and I could see that. Now I want to back up before I hit you with some more questions. Tour. Now you've toured before. Do you plan on doing that again?
maybe I haven't gotten that far with planning yet, but I think maybe like a summer tour would be really fun to
That'd be great.
do,
That'd be
maybe in the
great.
next year or two or three.
That'd be a
Yeah.
lot of fun to be able to do that. All right, let's get back to some questions here. Okay, you get two answers on this one right here. It's about a person alive, person that's passed. Who do you really, really want to grace the stage with? That's been a dream of yours.
Hmm. Maybe the Tedeschi Trucks Band. That would be a lot of fun because you get Susan on the vocals, you get Derek and I could trade some riffs.
I love
That
it.
would be pretty awesome.
That would be cool. So cool.
Yeah.
That would be one other.
One other, well, I've always been a Deadhead, so maybe getting together with Bobby Weir of the Grateful Dead, playing
Yes,
some tunes with him would be a lot of fun, I think.
that would be fun. That would be a great time, and it would be a 4 or 6 hour show because of the jam band.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, it'd be a great time with the Deadheads.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I've seen pictures of him doing yoga before his shows and stuff. So we could do a little
There you
yoga
go.
together, then we could jam
Yeah,
out. That would be fun.
that would be a great day. I would like to be on that one. All right. Now, this question I'm going to ask you might happen to you. It usually happens to my rock bands and heavy metal hardheads. But over the years of your playing music on stage, any embarrassing moments that stand out,
Sure,
huh?
there's always those.
Let's have
um,
some good juice here.
yeah, I did play a festival here in Pittsburgh, um, at Heartwood Acres, which is a big festival grounds. It was the hometown music fest, so my band, Patti Spadaro band, was playing, and it was just really hot, and the sun was blinding me, and I couldn't see like the lights on my pedals and stuff because it was so bright out.
Right.
So I was having trouble staying in tune, and because you
Oh
couldn't see the
no.
lights. And then I was playing a song I kind of forgot in the middle because, I was thrown off, I guess. And I think we skipped a whole verse or something. But, I don't think people noticed that much. People were
Yeah.
just enjoying. But that was it's probably more stress for me because I could realize, I can't see what's going on. I
What's
can't see
going
my
on?
pedals. I can't see, feel like I keep going out of tune because of the weather. But
Okay.
we got through it. We still had fun.
You managed to get through it. Definitely. Got it. The show has to go on. The show has to go
That's right.
on.
That's right.
Now, this question, one, two, how many guitars do we have?
How many guitars? I got my two main ones, my two Paul Reed Smiths, which I love.
Oh, they're great.
Electric guitars. I've got a Strat, which I enjoy as
Oh,
well. Don't bring that
yeah,
one out as much though. I've got a Taylor acoustic, which is wonderful.
it
I
is.
love to use that in the studio. I've got a few others. I got a classical guitar, which I don't haven't really played in a long time. I got that in college when I was looking for music electives to take, and they had a classical guitar teacher there.
Right.
So I took some classical guitar lessons and got
That's
credit
great.
for it. I still have like an old Vantage that I got back in high school, electric guitar. I still hanging on to that one.
Dear, that's great.
So,
I still have my very first guitar when I bought when I was 12. Yes.
yeah.
It's right over here. Yeah, the Circle K. Gotta love it.
Nice.
So, any over the years memorable moments that really stand out that you had?
Sure, there are plenty of memorable moments. I did a gig with Little Feat
Oh,
out in
yeah.
LA. And I was kind of one of the organizers for that gig. It was a benefit for an organization called Free Arts for Abused Children, which bring art programs into like group homes and things. Children who've been removed from their homes,
Yeah,
they just bring in these free music programs and things, which is good, very
that's great.
worthwhile cause.
That's a
Yeah.
great thing.
So Little Feet headlined the concert. My band opened up for them at Historic Theater in LA, the El Rey Theater, which was cool. But I got to like call up Paul Barrere from Little Feet and say, hey, this radio station kind of wants to do something like this, like a little interview with you. Could you give them 10 minutes or something? Can you call them
Right.
in? And he'd be like, oh yeah, sure, and then I'd set it up. I'd call it, I was like the in-between person. So that was
Great.
cool. I got to know Paul Barrere a little bit and hang out with those guys, during sound check and
No, that's
afterward.
beautiful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and then like other times when they've come around through Pittsburgh, they've given us backstage passes and we've gotten to hang
That's
out some more. And so
beautiful.
yeah,
That's
it's been fun.
that. That is amazing that you did it. Now, through all the bands and what you're doing now, any PR management labels you work with at all?
Yeah, I'm working with Michael Stover, MTS Management Services. He's helping me promote a
Yeah,
little bit, get the word out about this new single. So
good.
he's doing a good job working it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good. Your music needs to get out there. Everybody, when we're done with the interview, you can go and listen to Patty's music and just turn it up. All I got to say is turn it up loud because it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's great stuff. Oh, it's great. I almost want to grab that off the wall and jam with you. Unbelievable. So this next question, I really want to hear the answer to because it's very special to me, this question right here.
Okay.
You're with a band. You're doing a larger show, say a festival or something like that. Maybe it's a larger venue. I don't know. And you get set up, you get geared up, you strapped on, you hit the microphone, you hit the first chord, you start your songs, and the people turn around and hear you. They start moving towards the stage, towards you. You might see them swaying. Maybe they might dance. I don't know. But they might be singing your music to you. When you see that, Patty, it comes back and hits you right dead in that heart. How's it feel?
That feels amazing. That's really wonderful, to know that people actually know the words to one of my songs that I wrote and are singing it back to me. That's like one of the best feelings in the world,
It's,
I think. Yeah, it's really
it's great.
wonderful.
It's great. And you never forget those moments either. They always stay with you. Definitely.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
do you handle it well, or do you got to turn around and compose yourself?
I think I handle it pretty well. I just sing
There
along with them like I'm just there, right there with them.
you go. That's great. Now, have you ever, back in the day to now, have any rituals or pre-show jitters or anything before you hit the stage?
Sure, yeah. Sometimes I get a little nervous. I don't know that I have rituals so much. I like to do some vocal warm-ups like earlier in the day, some vocal exercises.
Yeah,
Like to maybe play the guitar a little bit, just loosen up.
yeah.
And maybe just do some mindful breathing or a little bit of, 5, 10 minutes, a little meditation just to kind of clear my head, calm the nerves,
There you
get
go.
ready. you know.
Exactly. Now, after say a 3-set show and you're all done and packed up going home, how long does it take you to unwind?
Um, yeah, usually I have to like maybe watch TV for a little while after I get home because yeah, you're pumped up after the gig and
Yeah,
then, you know, tearing down.
yeah.
Usually I don't have a roadie. Sometimes I do, but usually I'm right there in there putting stuff away and loading stuff up and then driving home, you know,
Oh,
the
that's
dreaded
fun.
drive home at, you know, late at night.
Right,
So
right.
usually I need to just come home and decompress for a little bit before just going to sleep.
That's probably why I've never heard from my drummer in the last 30 years because I'd never help him with his equipment. I got my own stuff, all yours. So it's all good. It's all good. Now Glass Shatter's a great song, like great collaborations. Do you plan on doing any more collaborations with any more of your songs?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. In fact, tomorrow I've got a session for a new song. It's called
Mm.
Mystic Misfit, and
Oh,
Cheryl Ann Hawk, who sang one of the voices on Glass Shatters and is in the video. She's going to come by and put some harmony
great, great,
on this new
sweet,
song. Yeah,
great. That's great. Now the
got the
people
same bass player, same drummer.
okay. Now the people you're collaborating with on your music, are they allowing you to jump on their music?
Yeah, when
There.
Cheryl Ann and I did a gig, um, maybe it was June, and yeah, I was playing along with her music, adding some little guitar riffs and guitar solos and things that were a
Wonderful.
lot of fun to do. So.
That is amazing. That is great stuff. Yeah, you're probably getting quite a bit of radio, internet radio, and press and stuff like that, aren't you? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
great stuff. You got any more interviews coming up?
I do. I have something on Monday
All right, good
at
deal.
6 p.m. I'm not sure if it's 6 or 6:30 p.m. my time, and that's Eastern time. Um, I don't off the top of my head know who it's with. but
Hey, well, we just have an interview. Let's put it that
but
way.
hey, I'll put it up on Facebook so people can find it
That's
and
wonderful.
just like
That's,
this one.
how many more songs you got under your belt that you need to get out there?
I don't know. I'm always, you know, looking for new ones. Trying to do some writing and just mess around on the guitar, see if some new ideas come up.
Okay,
So, you know, as long as things keep coming up, I'll keep
keep
putting
going.
them out there and hoping other people enjoy listening.
Okay. Now,
Um,
I kind of wish the band was with us because I have one question for all the band members. When
okay.
you're on stage and you're in your moment playing your lead, do they ever just stop and let you do your thing until until they can play again?
And just stop playing.
Yeah, the drums stop, the bass stops, and you're just wailing out the lead.
I think that's happened a couple of times, but I don't know if it was on purpose. I don't know. But usually, I mean, we'll play with the dynamics. Sometimes they'll come down really quiet and let me kind of shine. Other times we'll bring it up and rock it out.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Patty, 5 years from now, where's Patty want to be? Where do you see your music?
um, 5 years from now, well, I'd love to. Well, let's see, get to Red Rocks. That would be awesome. Do a little European tour. That would be
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Um, you know, whether those things happen or not, you know, I'm also happy playing around Pittsburgh and collaborating with people here and putting out more music and getting some radio airplay.
Yeah.
People
That,
listening, you know, that's what it's all about is being creative and creating something and having people appreciate it and listen, maybe get inspired by it, whether
exactly.
it's live or recorded, you know.
Exactly. I agree with you. Very inspirational music, just great music all the way around. Patti Spadaro, I appreciate you coming on the No Cover TV podcast today. Thank you so much. I'd love to have you back in 6 months to a year, see where you're at, what's going, maybe a new CD
Right.
out. I'm not sure. Well,
Yeah.
I'd really like to grab that PRS behind you and jam on that. Even maybe the tailor. I'll switch my Ibanez with your tailor for a little while.
Well, could maybe
Oh,
make that happen.
make that happen. That's
Up
great.
a
I
gig.
love Pennsylvania because I used to live in the Poconos, so I miss
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
oh, cool.
Beautiful state. Beautiful state. Very
Yeah, it is very green and lush.
bad it is. How's the weather? You've been getting some of this hurricane weather coming your way.
It hasn't been bad here in my neck of the woods.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it's just hot, kind of sunny, a little bit of clouds. But
Same here in Michigan.
yeah.
Same here. Again, one more time for our podcast viewers, where can they find your music and everything, Patti?
PattiSpadaro.com. You can look for me on iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify and YouTube, all those places, and most of
All
the other, like Pandora and stuff. I think it's on there too.
right. Good deal. Good deal. Well, thank you so much, Patti, for our interview today. Everybody in podcast land, now you can go check out Patti's music. Okay, don't switch off right yet. You know, Big Al, come through that window. But anyways, thank you, Patti Spadaro. I'm going to listen to some more of your music because I love it so much. All right. And everybody on podcast land, keep checking out the future shows of No Cover TV podcast. We are lined up. I'm booking into October and November right now. It's a great thing to get their story and music out around the world. So I'm going to get this out around the world, Patti, so you can get more fans. And you got a lot of great fans, a lot of great stuff. So
Great.
stick around and I will talk to you soon. All right.
All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
See you, everybody. Peace.
Bye.